Group 4 Project, Research and Evidence-Based Practice, Nursing 4344. Florence Nightingale's Environmental Theory. Florence Nightingale was born in 1820 and lived until 1910. She states, "I attribute my success to this. I never gave or took any excuse." She believed that nursing ought to signify the proper use of fresh air, light, warmth, cleanliness, and quiet. Florence Nightingale's legacy is that she is the pioneer of nursing and hospital reform. Her mission was to serve humankind through promotion of wellness and preventing morbidity and mortality. She reformed the British military healthcare system during the 1854 Crimean War through health and hygiene principles. Florence Nightingale was known as the Lady with a Lamp. She would often stroll through and check on the soldiers in the evening time. She was the founder of nurse training and wrote the first nursing curriculum. Her book, Notes on Nursing, was written in 1859 and developed standards of care. She is the first nursing theorist. Her theory is the environmental theory. Environmental theory. The goal of nursing is to put the patient in the best condition for nature to act upon him. This includes a therapeutic and healing environment, which is of utmost importance. To maintain health, you need a balance between patient and environment. Cleanliness, the environment and personal, will prevent the spread of infection. Manipulation of the physical environment. Major concepts of environmental theory. The physical environment, which includes ventilation, warming, light, noise, room cleanliness, bed, bedding, health of houses, and personal cleanliness. Psychological environment includes chattering of hopes with patients and advices. Nutritional status, taking of food and dietary conditions. Nursing care plan and management through petty management and observation of nurses. An article that applied environmental theory is Hospital Lighting and its Association with Sleep, Mood, and Pain in Medical Inpatients. It used a descriptive correlational design type used to explain the relationship among the variables or groups using a non-directional hypothesis. The purpose of the article was to describe light exposure, sleep-wake patterns and mood, pain, and their relationships in adult medical patients. Hospitals do not stick to normal day and night schedules. There are many interruptions, call lights, lab draws, medications. Improper light exposure affects pain and mood negatively. Light levels are too low to allow for proper circadian rhythms in patients. Participants of this study, there were 40, adult over 18, no surgical intervention during their stay. Their stay in the hospital was at least 24 hours. They occupied a private room or were by the window in a double room. Exclusion of participants were if they were not oriented. Length of stay was less than 24 hours. Data from the article, it was a 1-year timeline, was on the medical floor units observed. Motion and light-sensitive watches were worn by staff. The data collected was about light exposure, sleep-wake time, pain scale, and mood scale. The results? Patients did not get average amount of light during the day. 75% of participants averaged less than 100 lux of daylight. Patients were interrupted multiple times a night, and patients did not get half of average amount of sleep a night. 35% of patients slept more than 3 hours during the day, while additional 50% slept less than 4 hours at night. There was no correlation between less sleep and pain that was found. Did not find any evidence in the article for decrease in mood. Theory use in the article. Florence Nightingale proposed that sunlight was critical to the healing of body and mind, and that light exposure could be manipulated by the nurse to provide better healing for the patient. This article evaluated the amount of light exposure, evaluated the mood of patients, and evaluated pain levels, which can determine patients' healing. Environmental theory, meta-paradigm, person. Person is the individual receiving care. Florence Nightingale perceived that the person was a multidimensional being including biological, psychological, social, and spiritual components. Environmental theory, meta-paradigm, health. Includes a combined result of environmental, psychological, physical factors. It is not just the absence of disease. Nightingale stated that health is not only to be well, but to be able to use well every power we have. Environmental theory, meta-paradigm, nursing. Nightingale believed that nursing is largely intertwined with factors pertaining to the environment. Nursing essentials included providing fresh air, warmth, light, cleanliness, quiet, and a proper diet. Environmental theory, meta-paradigm, environment. 6 common components contributing to individuals' health include fresh air, pure water, sufficient food supply, efficient drainage, cleanliness of patient, and light. Nightingale's philosophical background on the general nature of nursing. Nightingale defined nursing as a unique profession that is both art and science. Nursing activity includes the alteration of internal and external nursing environment. Nurses should collaborate with other health professions, realizing that individuals are complex and holistic beings. There is no discrimination in nursing, and nurses should foster health within a patient. Nightingale's philosophical background on nursing education. Nursing education should contain 3 components: education, theoretical, and clinical. Foundation of nursing education is basic science. Nightingale's philosophical background on research. The basic element is empiricism theory, which is all knowledge is derived from sense experience. The nursing phenomena nurses should be primary investigator. Nightingale's theoretical assumptions. 5 factors were essential for promoting health: pure or fresh air, pure water, efficient drainage, cleanliness, and light. Nightingale's environmental theoretical assumptions. Nightingale's environmental theory conceptual framework has to do with the client, environment, and nurse. Nightingale's environmental theory can be viewed as a system model that focuses on the client in the center, surrounded by aspects of the environment all in balance. Nightingale's environmental theoretical assumptions. There are 7 assumptions made in the environmental theory, which focus on taking care of the patient's environment in order to reach health goals and cure illness. Through natural laws, mankind can achieve perfection. Nursing is a calling. Nursing is an art and a science. Nursing is achieved through environmental alteration. Nursing requires a specific educational base. Nursing is distinct and separate from medicine. How the article applies to practice. Light exposure in the patient setting affects sleep-wake patterns, mood, pain, and their relationships. Even in the brightest hospital room, there was a very low light exposure during the day or night, which then eliminated the photic stimulation or bright-dark contrast that human retina's melanoreceptors required to maintain a circadian rhythm. Circadian rhythm. Nurses are taught importance of contributions of healing, pain management, decrease of mood disturbance, healthy relationships. Nurses facilitate these components with treatments of medications, adequate rest, therapeutic communication. Circadian rhythm is often overlooked as important to human health. Adequate sleep-wake lighting helps to maintain circadian rhythm. It is important for healing processes of the body. Nurses need to educate patients on importance of appropriate lighting and facilitate an environment that is promoting this as well. How Libby uses the environmental theory in her practice. A clean OR environment leads to better health, reduces infection. The nurse who puts an emphasis on a clean OR provides a better environment for their patients. The incidence of healthcare-associated infections and pseudo-outbreaks can be minimized by appropriate use of cleaners and disinfectants. How Bailey uses the environmental theory in her practice. Constant awareness of the environment we provide for our patients, such as keeping doors open, adequate ventilation, keep room clean, have the room at a comfortable temperature, and plenty of fresh air with adequate sunlight. How Holly uses the environmental theory in her practice. In the post-anesthesia care unit, you can manipulate the physical environment to provide a therapeutic and healing environment through providing a quiet atmosphere, bright lights directly above patient beds turned off, warm blankets on admission to unit from the cold operating rooms. Cleanliness includes hand washing before patient contact, equipment disinfected between patients, and isolation patients wearing gowns, gloves, hand washing to prevent spread of infection. References: